But the more I thought about it, I'm like, this is awesome because they're going to be able to actually see. It's not just, hey, this school's doing great. It's going to be, hey, look at what these kids are doing. Look at the stuff they have set up. So that is absolutely awesome. So real fast, so I don't get this wrong, everybody, it's the Chesterfield County Tech Center and Adult Education. What part of Virginia are you in again?
Chesterfield County.
Well, Chesterfield County, but what's like the city? I'm trying to think.
We're right beside Richmond, Virginia.
Right beside Richmond. Okay, that's what I thought. So if you guys don't know, Jimmy is HVAC_teacher or HVAC teacher on most other platforms. He's got a pretty good TikTok following. And so if you don't know him by his name, but you know who that is, that's him. I know some people don't know the faces to a name sometimes, but that's who he is. He hides behind that luscious beard sometimes, but it's him. I guess real fast before we get into the school, if you want to let people know just a little bit about your background, and then we'll jump right into this whole school program, man.
So I started heating and air conditioning back in September of 99. Basically, a buddy of mine got me in the trade, and I fell in love with it, got away from auto mechanics, and came into this, and been doing it ever since. For 4 years, I was a certified mechanical plumbing inspector for a locality here as well. So when it comes to building code for mechanical and plumbing, I knew that pretty well. And it helps with, teaching, and it helps with my current job as back in the field as a service technician. People always call me up from other companies and buddies like, hey, what's the code for this or what's the code for that? But I've been doing this. In 2003, I finished this program up, taking it at night, and I came back and started teaching immediately the next semester. I've been teaching for a total of 15 years starting this fall.
Awesome, dude. Here, we got to give you one of these real fast. Hold on. That's awesome, man, because I say this all the time. My whole slogan, let's be better together. If you are good at this and you know more than other people, help somebody else. Even if you're not like a teacher or a professor, so to speak, you can still help other people. I did a podcast the other day. I was a guest on another show. And one of the things we talked about is kind of that old school mentality was everybody's a threat. Everybody can take my job, that you were scared to show anybody anything unless it was a young guy that you knew he wasn't taking your job if you were an old timer. And times have changed, man. Like, we're in demand. There's not enough of us. There's more than enough work. Nobody's going to take your job. Like, help each other, man. And that's awesome. Any of you out there, like Jimmy, if you have the knowledge and you like to share things with other people, then, hey, man, like, go become a teacher. Go help other people. It's not for everybody. I will say that. You can be the most knowledgeable person and not necessarily a good teacher. So I'll say that. I'm trying to be careful and not be inappropriate, because when you told me about what your school was doing, I got a little excited. Okay, let's just because, I feel like nowadays you hear so much about what schools aren't doing. So I try to give all the respect I can to the ones that are. There's the Perfect Technician Academy in Texas that I think they do a great job. There's another one in Arkansas, the Ultimate Tech Academy, which we've sent people to, that I think those places are good schools. But those are like big outfits. It's not like homegrown, like kind of what you're doing. So when I hear what you guys are doing, it is awesome, man. Kudos to you guys. So I guess let the viewers and listeners know a little bit about your program, man.
So basically we have 3 semesters. It's 16 weeks, 2 nights a week for 3 hours. So the guys are here from 6 to 9 p.m. It's adult education, so we could not specifically at night cater to the HVAC industry. But the HVAC industry is what sends this to us. Also, we have plumbing companies that send their employees to the plumbing classes, and we have electrical companies that send their employees to the electrical classes. Now, there are other programs in our area that do it as well. I'm not sure how well they do it compared, but I have had other guys say that they like our program compared to theirs, which I personally love. Just a little quick, I had a guy who came from another program for his first year. He came into our program for second year and third year, and his boss told me that after he finished our program, he was 1,000% better confident on his technical skills, on his sales skills, doing his job better, and finding problems and everything, and doing maintenance. He's like, he was so much better at his work that he's now guaranteeing his employees to us. We have 6 HVAC companies that guarantee their employees to this program for HVAC training.
That's awesome.
And they're not small companies either. They're big companies in our area.
And that's good. And that should tell you something, because most big companies, that's one thing I do give to a lot of big companies, is they will dump a bunch of money into training, because they're normally losing people so much because they treat them like crap that they have to keep training the new crop of people. But normally the training is actually pretty decent for the most part once they throw in the sell your soul, sell them everything, final class. So the fact that a bigger company does that should speak volumes, because normally those places, they can do it themselves. So if they choose not to, then they must really trust what you guys are doing.
Yeah. Starting this fall, when I hit my 15th year, I'll have taught over 600 guys heating and air conditioning.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's something you should be proud of, because people can say that, oh, I fix 6,000 HVAC systems. Well, if you help that amount of people, imagine how many units that's going to fix. Those people, 1,000 each or whatever it is, like that's called leaving a legacy. So that kudos to you, buddy. That's awesome.
Well, the other thing is I have a nickname here in Richmond that all the supply houses don't know my real name is Jimmy. They all know me as my nickname. And most of the companies out here and the guys in the field, they know my nickname. So when they say my nickname, which is PorkChop, they like, oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Oh yeah, he's done this. They know who I am. They've heard of me. I do have a good reputation when it comes to the training classes and in the industry as a technician.
That's awesome, dude. PorkChop. That's sweet. Now it makes sense about your picture. I get it now. Bingo, bingo, bongo. It just makes sense now. Bob's your uncle. Well, let me ask you this then. What made you go from being a tech? Like, what inside of you said, I want to go show other people how to do this?
So my third year teacher, Warren Roper, he should be on here tonight because I told him about it. He actually teaches in Raleigh at Durham Tech at night, 2 nights a week as well. Warren's been teaching 25 years at night doing these schools programs. So when I finished up my third semester with Warren, he came to me and said, hey, how do you feel about teaching? Because I think you'd be a good teacher. And I was like, all right, let's give it a shot, and I came in, started teaching the second year semester. I did that for 5 years. I had to take a break because stress, and I had too much on my plate. And then they called me up, said, hey, we'd like for you to come back and teach. This fall will be 10 years straight teaching again.
That's awesome.
So
did you used to have long hair before the stress?
I was going bald back then, so I just found that as I got older, it's just easier to keep it shaved. Yep.
We're on the same platform, brother. Trust me. Real fast before I forget, Mr. Vinny, HVAC Super Tech, said, make sure you tell Jimmy I said, what's up, brother?
Yep, Vinny. Yeah, Vinny and I are going to get together actually and do a night. We're going to do a conference call like this and get with the guys and have him walk the guys through the BLUON app stuff and getting them registered all on BLUON one night in class.
That's awesome, man. Not to go off here, but that's another thing that I was talking about before, like the old mentality, thinking of like calling tech support was a bad thing. And, I'm too manly. I don't need to call tech support. Hey, man, it's about getting the information you need when you need it, the help you need when you need it. And nobody does that better than BLUON, hands down, point blank, period. It's proven. It's a fact. That's not opinion. So that's awesome. He's going to do that. Vinny's the man, dude. I can't wait to come up there and meet some of the students. And I'll try to make sure I have a bunch of stuff. I'll come up and give some shirts and hats and things like that out and just talk to them.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, you're more than welcome to come one night. And, if you want to do a video stuff, everything else. Like I was watching Ty the other night do his thing, and he had a little compressor top and didn't have a full compressor. So I took a little quick TikTok video and tagged him in it. And he contacted me back, said, hey, can you send me a bunch of still pictures and stuff like that in a video? So I took like 12, 13 pictures and sent him that and took about a 1.5-minute video and sent it to him. So it's a scroll compressor broken down, cut open so you can see it. I don't mind helping other people out in this industry that I can't physically see. Like you and I discussed, I made a bunch of quizzes and tests for your guys, so you could help train them. And yeah, it's coming from my program that we teach, but I'm here to help anybody learn. I have no problem helping people in any other state, teaching them something or helping them out with stuff. I thoroughly enjoy teaching because the light that you see when someone does